have to place a veto on this bill, and it shall be vetoed by our administration.
It comes as no surprise, but today Governor Eddie Calvo officially vetoed Bill 268. The measure was introduced by Senator Michael Nicholas and was passed by the Democratic majority earlier this month.
Really quite simple. Number one, with the passage of Bill 268, much like earlier laws that had been enacted by previous legislatures, when it comes to empty promises, this would have been an empty promise.
The veto follows weeks of debate between lawmakers and the administration. Following the governor's submittal of his Hay Plan proposal nearly 1 month ago, Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz held 2 public hearings with DOA Director Benita Manglotnia wanting answers on how much the plan would cost, broken down by agency. Manglotnia didn't provide the breakdown, resulting in Bill 268. The governor's office called the bill an abomination, adding it would be more expensive to implement.
And we would look at sometime in summer, probably in July, where the funding would run out, and all those pay increases would then have to be pulled back. This is not very fiscally prudent, so that is one major area of concern.
It was just this week when DOA delivered 20 boxes of documents on the Hay Plan to Speaker Judy Wampat's office. The documents were refused upon delivery, as Wampat felt the boxes weren't properly itemized and without the complete inventory.
And the passage of this bill would have caused so much inequities between those that are in the classified force, those that are unclassified, and also, aside from the complications of trying to compete with the private sector for top quality workers, it could have caused some major issues between autonomous agencies and the general line agencies of the government of Guam. So with that respect, we are also of the opinion that Bill 268 was an abomination and needed to be vetoed.
Bill 268 revised the governor's proposal, namely eliminating raises for elected officials along with directors and deputy directors. It also lowered proposed increases for the mayors and vice mayors. So what's next? Calvo says his plan will now move forward.
Tomorrow, our GovGuam employees will be receiving their pay increases based on the Hay Plan that was submitted by the administration. Again, I wish them all a happy Valentine's Day.
For senators, Speaker Wampat indicated Democrats were discussing the next options, which included an override attempt and possible court action.
We're just hopeful that the legislature, particularly the Democratic majority, will see fit that in our veto message, this was just a bad bill and it cannot be enacted into law. But then aside from that, that they will also not move forward in any type of mischief that will take paychecks from our hard-working GovGuam employees.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.
Now, word has also come down from Adelup in which Governor Calvo says pay raises will be paid by 8 a.m. Line agency staffers can pick up their additional payroll checks at the opening on business Friday from their agency head. Staffers under the general pay plan should expect to receive half of their slated increase, whereas employees under all the other pay plans will receive the full 100% of the plan. The Department of Administration is transmitting the funds to DOE to cut their checks to those staffers tomorrow as well. The Guam Memorial Hospital's employees should also receive supplemental checks tomorrow, depending on whether GMH payroll officials are actually able to process the payments within the given time frame. Governor Calvo and Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio are rejecting their pay increases and have designated accounts for DOA to divert those funds to improve education and island health.
As for Bill 268's author, Senator Michael Nicholas, he says he is saddened by the veto, telling KUAM he believed he put forth a reasonable proposal with Bill 268. He tells KUAM, quote, "I'm not here to fight with the governor, and if the governor has concerns he makes clear with his veto, we need to see if we can address those concerns and possibly introduce a bill that works for everybody," end quote. As for an override attempt, Nicholas says it is unclear at this time as he still needs to talk to his colleagues. Governor Eddie Calvo has stated the Republican senators gave their assurance they would not vote for an override, leaving the Democrats without the 10 votes needed. As for court actions, Nicholas says he is not a big fan, adding he doesn't want to stop raises for everybody. Just because the governor is trying to push for a few we disagree with, He adds, although the governor's proposal would implement raises for senators as well, he will not accept it, adding the increases for senators is not part of the budget. And just before news time, Senator Frank Uggan Jr. also issued a release stating that he would not accept the pay raise.